Hey you guys, welcome to your next Pilates workout on the Reformer. This is a part of the beginner series and this is workout 2. So if you're new to this space and you're just getting started on the Reformer, go back to the first workout because this is the next layer on. So the first workout really speaks into how the machine works, how to change springs, that type of thing. So we're going to go ahead and get started. 3 red springs. If you want to make that a little heavier, add a blue spring on. A little bit lighter, you can go 2 red, 1 blue. So we'll come down into lying first. Position yourself where you're not jammed up in the shoulder rest with your shoulders. So you've got a little bit of space there. Check the alignment of your knees in relation to your hips. So feet and knees hip width apart. And then just come and take 3 full, deep, slow breaths, just allowing yourself to land in this space, knowing that whatever you've been doing or whatever you've got left to do for the rest of your day or evening can just melt away. Allowing the belly to rise and fall. And just allowing yourself to become more present in this space for the next 45 minutes or so. And then we're going to grab a hold of the shoulder rests. Let the elbows go out wide. Take your heels out wide on the corners of the foot bar and just slowly roll both knees over to the right, turning your gaze to look out over to the left. And then scooping with your abdominals, coming back through the center, traveling across to the opposite side, turning your head away from the knees. And coming back through center. Let's time it with a breath now. Exhale, knees travel across, head turns. Pause there, breathe in. Exhale, scoop the tummy, knees come through center as well as the head, and taking them to the opposite side. Pause, breathe in. And exhale through center, 1 more to each side. Pause in that shape, take an inhalation. And exhale all the way across to the opposite side. And then gently coming back through the center and pausing here. Coming to find your neutral pelvis position, teeniest of little spaces through the lower back as you anchor down into the tailbone area. Feet and knees are hip width apart and we're pressing all the way out to straight legs and all the way in. Breathe out to press out. Breathe in to come in. As my heels stay connected into the foot bar, I'm thinking of recruiting from the base of my glutes. Then as my legs straighten, the quads are naturally going to activate the front of your thigh muscles. What we're trying to see here is, can we move through the legs without disturbing your neutral pelvis position? So I'm not rocking my hips back. I'm not in a flat back. I'm not flaring up through my ribs. That bra strap level of your ribs across the back is heavy along the carriage, as well as your tailbone and sacrum area. And there's just this little wisp of space through the lower back, like a blueberry could just rest underneath there without squashing it. And then just keeping the back of the neck long as you continue to move here. Last 2. Breathing out, press out, equal weight through the heels. Breathe in, return. Breathe out, press out. And return. This time you're going to place the balls of your feet onto the bar. And we're going to allow the heels just to drop, naturally drop to wherever feels okay. From there, we're pressing all the way out to straight legs. Lower your heels down beneath the bar here, keeping the legs straight. Keep the legs straight, relift your heels and return the carriage in. So this time we're going to press out with our high heels on. Press, lower the heels down, relift the heels and return. So when we're moving through the articulation here, as the heels drop and as they lift, the legs stay straight. Watch that as your heels drop, and you can just lift your head and watch that your knees aren't rolling in toward one another. You want to really just ensure that the alignment of the knees is staying in line with the hips and the knees staying in line with the center of the ankles. This time when you press out, we'll stay out. We're going to lower the heels down and lift them up. So we're just staying here, lifting and lowering. Find a breath rhythm that feels good for you. Whatever you do, don't hold it. So just keep it moving. How high up can you come on those heels? How low can you drop? And again, just noticing the pelvis is level. Arms can be resting down beside you. I tend to have my hands across my pelvis. It just helps to remind my brain to keep things just gently active. Yes, we're still going. Last 3 and 2. Final 1. Hold the heels high. From here, bend one knee, push the opposite heel beneath the bar. So that heel that is beneath the bar, that leg is straight. And then we swap over. Both heels lift, legs are straight, and then the opposite heel drops underneath. So in one moment, one knee is bent as the opposite heel's dropped. And for this exercise, you can find a rhythm that feels good for you. You can choose to go slowly, or if you want to challenge it, you can speed it up. When you speed it up, it's just going to demand a little bit more organization around your middle, watching that your hips aren't going all over the place, watching that your knees aren't waving in and out. And again, you can just always look down, check that alignment. And we're feeling those calves. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And high heels, high heels, high heels. And return all the way in. Well done. All right. This time we come into a turnout position. So we're going to have the toes on the bar. The heels are together. And I'm always looking for this line where my center of heels meet and that middle line of my tights or pubic bone all the way up to the center of the sternum. Inner thighs are wrapping to outer thighs. We're going to press all the way out to straight legs, squeeze the inner thighs to touch and return back in. Exhale, press, inner thighs squeeze and return. It is very easy to almost not fully straighten your legs here. I want you to keep the heels glued together the entire time. And then feel the inner border of your thighs really actively squeezing inward. In that way, you're going to get the most out of your movements here. And the heels are just at a level that feels nice for you. They're not needing to be lifted or lowered. Keeping the back of the neck long. Breathing out to press out. Breathing in to return. Last 3. And 2. Last one. We're going to hold it out here now. Hold here. Squeeze the inner thighs to touch. Really, really work at pulling the kneecaps up through the front of the thighs. We're going to just bend and straighten, coming into a little pulsing action. I'm actually aiming my heels up toward the ceiling as I rotate my knees out. And I'm really starting to feel a good burn through the inner thighs, through the quads. The heels are still aiming up toward the ceiling, letting my knees drop out a little wider. Pelvis is still level. You can take a breather whenever you need it. We're only here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way out. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And all the way in and rest there. Well done. Well done. Okay. If you need to change your spring setting, now would be the time. We're going to be doing a single leg exercise. With a single leg exercise, of course, it's a little more work for the one leg, pushing that spring setting. So you may want to drop it down to 2 red and 1 blue if you haven't already. Now from this position, I've just floated 1 foot off the foot bar and allowing that knee just to hover above the hip. The opposite leg is going to press all the way out to a straight leg and then coming back into a bent leg. Now, when I'm moving here, it's the same idea. It is the base of the glute that I'm trying to activate. And sometimes actually having your hand there on the actual muscle, just right at the top of the hamstring toward where the hamstring and the glute meet, that helps the brain kind of fire up. Right, that's where I'm working from. If you can't feel that too much right now, don't worry. But it's just nice to know that over time you will be able to trigger and feel that sensation as the activation for your glutes strengthens. Okay, so now we're going to pause with that standing leg straight. This time when we return the carriage, we're going to extend this free leg out over the top of the bar. Then we press away. When we go back in again, I'm going to extend the leg, but it's going to go under the bar. And then we press back. We go over the bar, press back, and under the bar. Keep that going. Just find a rhythm of breath that feels good for you. Pelvis is steady. Shoulders are relaxed. Last 3 and 2. Final 1. And straighten the leg. Lower the heel onto the bar. We've got both heels on now. Feel equal weight into those heels and return the carriage in. Beautiful. Let's do the other side. So we float the opposite leg up. Heel is connected. We keep the free leg still as we simply bring it in to a single leg press. Soft through shoulders. Noticing weight centered down on the tailbone. Back of the ribs are heavy. Just finding a nice rhythm that feels good for you here. Pelvis is still. So we want to watch that free leg. The knee remains above the hip. And now pause with a straight leg. From here, when we return the carriage, we're going to extend the free leg out and over the top of the bar. We come back. This time we extend it under the bar and back, over and back and under and back. Just checking that your brain is on with this coordination. And as one leg bends and the opposite leg straightens, the whole time what stays consistent is your ability to keep your pelvis absolutely square and still. I'm kind of whispering because I can hear the puppy outside. And then pause with the leg above the hip. Place both feet down onto the bar and then return the carriage all the way in, nice and safe. Okay, so we do what we can do when we've got a puppy in the house. We're going to change our strength settings now to 1 red. We're going to come up into some arm work. In our first video, we did a low kneel with the arms, with the hands in the straps. I mentioned that you can use the box. So I'll show you what that looks like. So when you grab the box, place it on lengthways. And we're on one red spring here. You can change that to one blue if that feels too intense for you. Remember to spring for success. So anytime you feel like you're losing your form, just go lighter. So remember, red's are heaviest, then blue, and then yellow is your lightest. So we come and we sit nice and tall here. We open across the collarbones and we press back with the arms. So this is an exercise we did in the first workout of the beginner series, except we were in a low kneeling position. This is really comfortable for those of you that don't have range or ability to sit on your heels, or your knees might not like that angle of flexion. So when we're pressing back, I'm thinking of growing taller. I'm keeping the tops of my shoulders from hunching up and toward my ears. So I'm gliding the shoulder blades down and I'm pressing back, leading with this portion of the arm through the tricep area. 2 more there. Feeling your ribs just knitting in toward your body. Now from here, we cross the straps over and we're going to add on a little rotation. So if this feels too intense, again, just lighten your spring setting. I'm going to punch my straight arm forward. The opposite elbow bends and aims for that back wall. Then I come back through center. I punch the straight arm forward. The strap will go slack. Elbow pulls back toward the back wall. So my gaze is going to follow the bent elbow. I'm going to look back over my shoulder. If you're here and your shoulders are coming up around your ears, you can pretty much guarantee that your spring is too heavy. So take it down. Take it down to a lighter spring setting, or you can hold on to the longer straps, and that is just going to reduce your range a little bit. So either version is fine. Let's go for 3 more to each side. Use your exhale to draw back, your inhale to come back in. Grow a little bit taller. Pull your navel right back in toward your spine. Last one to each side. And rest there. Well done, you guys. Okay. We'll keep the straps crossed over. Make sure that you've got enough box here to be able to roll back into. Notice where my feet are. They just hang over the front edge of the headrest there. On my exhale, I'm going to rock my hip bones back, draw in through my belly, and roll my lower back down toward the box. I'm not in a flat back. I'm in a C curve shape. Use your mirror for feedback. Scoop the belly, restack your spine. So again, the arms are passive. I'm not pulling on my arms. My arms are just slightly bent. I curl my tail under. I pause here. Take a breath into the back and the sides of your ribs. As you exhale, scoop, curl, and restack. Again, curl the tail under. Arms are relaxed, shoulders are quiet. And use your exhale to come back up. 2 more like that. Soft through the tops of the shoulders. Can you squeeze your knees together a little more? Find that inner thigh connection. And then restack. All right. We're going to combine those last 2 movements. Again, check your spring setting, okay? It should feel challenging, but it shouldn't feel so challenging that it's too much for your shoulders and your shoulders creep up. So we're here, elbows are soft. We round and we curl and we roll back, maybe 3/4 of that distance you just went. One elbow pulls back, the opposite arm punches forward. We come back through center. Elbow bends back. We punch forward with the opposite arm. Scoop through the tummy. Stay in that C-curve shape of the spine. We're just doing 2 more to each side. Pull back, watch the elbow. And we're watching that those knees aren't pulling away from one another. So keep them side by side. Last one. Center, and now curl forward and restack. Voila. Well done. Well done. Well done. All right. Let's turn the body. Turn the body. Turn the body. We'll stay in the box. We'll make it a short box. So turn it around so it's lying horizontally on your carriage. Come and take a seat, then grab a hold of the long straps first. Slowly, gently pull forward. And you can choose, I can feel already that's too heavy. You can choose what spring setting you use. I'm changing that to 1 blue spring. You can cross your legs across the front if that feels more comfortable. You can choose to go long straps, which will make it a little easier, or the short straps. Either way, the strap is between your index and thumb. We start with the elbows beside you. We reach them forward and up, and then we take them out wide. Watch that your ribs don't flare here. Pull them back into center and back in. So this is one that you would have done in that first workout of the beginner series. This is called the offering. And when we're in a seated position, it's a lot easier than kneeling. But as we progress, we can take this into a kneeling position or a high kneel position. And do 2 more here. Dusting the top of the head along the ceiling, reaching the arms forward, taking those arms wide, pull back through center and elbows to the waist. Arms wide. Keep those fingers just in your peripheral so they don't go too far back. Pull back to center and elbows come in. Well done. Okay, from here, we will just let the straps go. Just let them drop down. Change your spring setting now so you have just 1 blue. So if you haven't got that already, just change it to 1 blue. Be careful coming on and off the box when you have a lighter spring on as well. So we're popping the box off to the side and we're going to come into a position here where you've tucked your toes underneath you. Your feet and knees are pretty much hip width apart. And I'm going to sit my buttocks back toward my heels here. I'm not right on my heels, I'm just kind of sitting back. Now from this shape, I'm going to start to press the carriage back slowly. And I mean slowly because you'll feel that it is very light and it would be very easy just to kind of press back and sink in your middle. What I want to do, and you can use your mirror as guidance, is keep my hips still as I press my knees back behind me and as they come forward again. We've done this in the first video, but we did it on a heavier spring setting. So what this will do is challenge your connection through your middle. I'm thinking of funneling my ribs down toward my hips, keeping my lower tummy muscles drawn up and in. And I'm using that mirror as feedback here. Trying to keep the pelvis still in space. Last 2. And if you find this one a little tricky, give me that feedback, you guys. All right, this is the stuff that we can workshop when I have my next check-in session with you. Because once you get it, it's brilliant. It helps with a lot of kind of more advanced movements. Okay, so now bring the carriage all the way in. We have one red. Take the blue off. Right foot is on the platform. Left foot is back against the shoulder rest. We're going to find our lunge shape, finding a stretch, and then coming all the way in. Just 3 on each side. So we press, find the length, and back in. And if you want to hang out here a little bit longer, then just press pause. You might want to do a few more repetitions on each side. Bring the carriage in, swap legs over. So we press and return. See if you can keep your shoulders square and your hips as square as possible to the foot bar. Last one, pressing back. And bring it all of the way in. Well done. All right. Stepping off your carriage, I want to introduce some spine extension. We're going to pop that long box on again. And with this one, we're going to have the assistance of the springs pulling us back in. So one red spring will be on. The foot bar is at this level. You'll come to a position where your bust is just hanging over the front edge of the box. You'll find your elbows wide, find a pelvic tilt, extend the legs back. So your glutes will be a little active here. That's all good. All we're doing is straightening the arms, okay? If you feel like you're sliding back on the box at that point, come back in and shimmy yourself forward a little. It can just take a bit of adjusting. All right. So once you're in shape, keep the arms straight. Begin to lift your chest bone forward and upward. You'll notice the carriage will begin to come in a little bit. Then press back. Look down to the springs again. Keep the arms straight. Pull the chest bone forward between the arms as though you're trying to slide your chest up the wall in front of you, and then press back. I'm not doing this. I'm not just sinking into my lower back and pulling my ribs off the carriage. The base of my ribs are going to stay on because I really just want to get that thoracic extension, the extension into my upper back. My weight stays on my pubic bone. 2 more like this. Keeping the back of the neck long. And return the carriage all of the way in. So a little combo movement, okay? Remember, the weight on the pubic bone is key. Keep your lower tummy muscles pulled up and in to help support through the lower back. So the combo movement is this. We find our shape, straight arms, long legs, weight on pubic bone. We roll the chest bone forward and through. The carriage comes in a little ways. We press back. We look down to the springs. Then we bend our elbows wide and return in a flat back. Just watch that you don't chip your nose. So we press back, looking down at the springs. Hold there. Now we lift the chest, straight arms, straight arms, straight arms. Drop the shoulders. Press back with straight arms. Look down to your springs. Bend your elbows. 3 more like this. Extend the legs. Weight on pubic bone. Working the entire back body here. Find a breath pattern that feels good for you. Rising up through the chest. Weight on pubic bone. Ribs stay connected onto the box. Last one. Shining the chest forward and up. Pressing back. And return all of the way in. While you're there, pop all springs on. Once all springs are on, I want you just to slowly ease yourself up and find a shell stretch shape, if that's comfy for you. Hanging the feet off the back edge, letting your forehead rest down, letting your wrists just drape over the foot bar there or wherever they land. You can have your arms down beside you if that's more comfortable, just whatever works. And take 3 full deep breaths into the back and the sides of your ribs. And when you're ready, gently shift your body weight forward, hands on top of the foot bar here. Knees directly beneath the hips. We're going to extend the right leg back to straight, round the spine, knee to nose. Extend out, lift the chest. Round the back, knee to nose, 6 to each side. Lift out of the arms. The shoulders are above the hands. The knees are beneath the hips. Last 2. Final 1. Extend the leg back and bring it in. Opposite side, extend. Round the spine, knee to nose, and lengthen. So the still leg stays absolutely vertical. We're not shimmying the hip out to the side. Pulling your lower tummy muscles right up into the lower back in order for the knee to come through. Last 1. Extend back and place that knee down and gently come off. Well done, you guys. Well done. All right, one last exercise to go, and that is our scooter. I love the scooter because it really works at building that strength through the glutes. So you can pop your box off to the side. 1 red spring. If that feels too heavy, you go to 1 blue. I tend to always choose the center red spring for this exercise. Okay, you guys, so for the scooter, you're going to have your standing foot in line with the front edge of the carriage on the floor. Your opposite foot is against the shoulder rest, and we're just on 1 red spring. If that's too heavy, just drop to a blue. And I'm going to begin by sitting my buttocks back as though I was sitting into a bar stool. Just take a look, check that your hips are square, shoulders are square onto the foot bar. And then we're simply just going to press the back leg back and bring it in. Exhale to press, inhale to come in. Now at the moment I've got a fair amount of weight in my hands. If I want to challenge it, I'm going to have just my fingertips on that foot bar with a lot of my weight sitting into the heel of my standing foot. If I want to challenge that further, I'm going to have both hands on my hips as that leg travels back and travels forward. Now, your body won't move with this. It's not a lunge. So your torso, basically from your hips up, stays absolutely still in space. You should be feeling a fair amount of work happening through your support leg. And when you get to an extended leg, that's when your hip extensors, you'll really start to feel activate. So let's do 3 more here. Keep that weight sitting back into that standing heel. This time when you press back, find that foot bar with the hands. Now we're going to bend into that front leg, finding a wee lunge shape. We're going to take the outside hand that's on the foot bar and rotate around. Keep pressing your knee in toward the carriage. Drop the shoulders and lengthen. Lengthen through the fingertips. Lengthen through that back heel. Drop a little deeper. We're here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Smoothly de-rotate and come all of the way back in. And let's swap sides. So Standing foot is in line with the front edge of the carriage. We fold back from the hips. The shoulders and hips are square onto the front edge of the carriage. And we can start with a fair amount of weight into the hands to begin with, just to find your bearings. Notice how the side feels compared to the other. And I'm really anchoring into that heel, pressing back. Maybe my hands end up a little bit lighter on the foot bar. Remember, spring for success. If this feels too heavy, drop down to one blue. Keep the tummy gently engaged. And then if that's all feeling okay, go hands free. So again, the standing leg, that heel is really anchoring into the floor, as well as your toes, but most of the weight has shifted back. So the lower tummy stays drawn in. We're breathing out to press out, breathing in to return. Let's do 2 more here. And last one. Hold the leg back, find the foot bar with the hands, and then drop into a lunge. As low as feels good for you. Keep the tummy gently drawn in to support the back. The outside hand now is going to reach around. Look back toward the back hand. Keep the straight leg as straight as possible. Keep drawing that navel in toward your spine. And notice how your shoulders could just melt downward. Easy breath, sinking a little lower. Tummy's engaged a little more. Back leg a little straighter. And smoothly derotate, coming all of the way in. Amazing. Okay, from here, one last stretch out. This is one of my favorites. So, depending on your range through your hips, will depend on what shape you come into here. We'll do one red and one yellow. And you're going to place your toes onto the outer corners of the foot bar, just like you did toward the start of the class. I think, yeah, we did. We had the feet wide. The heels are pulled in toward the center, so you're in like a turnout shape with the feet. The knees are cascading out to the side. And position your hips or your buttocks in a place where you can get your spine as long as possible. So we're trying to avoid the start position being here. I want to try and lift my chest between my arms. I'm pulling on the bar at the same time, letting my neck grow longer. And as I exhale, I'm going to begin straightening my legs, drawing my waist back, letting my chin drop up toward my chest. And then inhale, lift the sternum, knees go wide. Again, exhale, press it back. It doesn't matter how far you go. Just know that with every repetition, you are creating length. You are creating a little more pliability with all of those tissues. As you come and lift the chest, imagine that you're extending your upper spine over a Swiss ball here and pressing back. Round back here. Drop your heels if you want to bring in more of a stretch. And then bending the knees. Lifting the chest, opening the collarbones. Last 2, round. See if you could just go a little further. And return. See if the knees could drop out a little more. See if the chest could lift a little more. See if the jaw and the shoulders could soften just a little more. and bring it in, all the way in. Lift and release. Well done. Release out of that shape. Amazing, you guys. That is workout number 2 of your beginner series. I hope you enjoyed it, and then come back and do this session again. Once you're feeling more confident with this, then we'll move on to the next one. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in our next workout.